Alright, if you have this quiz, you can take it out. If not, you can just follow along. And you also might want to write down some formulas that you see on this one. There's actually quite a bit. This was quiz number 13 on chapter 11, which was about 2- and 3-dimensional objects. This was on March 11, 2016. Which statement is true about the figure here? This is a paint can. It's a cylinder. The bases, you know, there are congruent and they're parallel. So that would be 2 circular bases, B. Question number 2. Not big enough. Match by writing one letter in each blank. Area equals pi r squared. That is your area of a circle. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. This is to find a third side of a right triangle. So that would be G. Formula to find the slant height. Volume equals 1/3 base times height, or base times height divided by 3. This is for the volume of a pyramid, or you could have written the letter D, volume of a cone. Area equals 1/2 base times height. That would be the area of a triangle. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. That would be the volume of a sphere. And C is volume equals base times height. That's the volume of a prism. It's going too fast. You can watch this after school. Question number 3. To complete the castle, the company is going to create small cannonballs for the cannon that would be situated on the roof of the castle. What type of solid mold is needed to make cannonballs? So a mold is where they can inject rubber, plastic, or metal to create an object. So this solid mold for a cannonball would be a sphere. B. Which of the drill bits shown will form the mold needed if the cannonballs will have a radius of 0.25 inches? So remember, a drill bit is you put on it to drill, you pull the trigger and it spins. So I need a 2-dimensional object that is this one, which is your answer for C, which is a circle. Well, between the two, it says a radius of 0.25 inches. That would be B. D is showing you a diameter. So that number's in the middle. That's showing the length of the diameter. This one's the radius. So that would be B. And what is the shape of the drill bit that will create the cannonball mold? That would be a circle. So the circle is a 2-dimensional object, and then the sphere is a 3-dimensional object. Question number 4. Circle all that apply to form a pyramid. So these are now called advanced multiple choice questions. It says circle all that apply. So there's not just one answer. To form a pyramid, the answer is stacking similar triangles. Similar means that they're the same shape, but some are larger and some are smaller. So when you stack them, they get really small. That would form a pyramid. An example of that would be the pyramids in Egypt. Stacking similar rectangles is the same thing, and there you would have, you can see some rudimentary ones in South America and their pyramids. The score rubric for that is you got 4 points if you circled these 2, but then you circled nothing else. If you made 1 mistake, you got 3 points. If you made 0, 1, or 2 mistakes along with at least one correct, it give you 2 points. Questions 5 and 6. Write the name of the solid figure that would result from rotating the plane figure shown below around the axes shown. So this is the axes. In class we did with the pencil. And attached to the pencil were the cutouts. And when you spun them around the axis, they formed this 2-dimensional object. The circle formed the sphere. If you spun it around this axis or that pencil, that rectangle or square would create a cylinder. That's the 3D object. Number 7, identify the following 3D object. It's not a cylinder because there's no circles. It's not a pyramid because I don't see any similar triangles. This is called a right rectangular prism. The word right in B and C essentially means that there are right angles in there, or the height is right. And the difference between rectangular and triangular is rectangular has bases, or all around it are rectangles. Question number 8, students have the most difficulties with. So in question number 8, it tells you which one doesn't belong. Which of these figures does not belong with the other three? And then you need to explain your reasoning. So I have a couple of responses. The one I initially thought of was this. Number 1, number 4 here, this sphere does not have a base. It has a radius. This one has a base, this has a base, this has a base. Another student said that 1, 2, and 4, they have a radius, but this one does not. Another student said that 3 here can't be rotated along an axis. You can't put it on the pencil and create a three-dimensional object from a two-dimensional. Someone else said that there's no flat surface in this one. There is there because of the bases. And then someone said you can't, for this one here, you can't stack congruent circles or similar circles. This one you would have to stack rectangles. Question number 9. Relate the dimensions of the plane figure to the solid figure that results from its rotation around the given axis. So here's the axis, here's the two-dimensional, and we need to compare it to the three-dimensional. So I said the base of the triangle here, this becomes the radius of the cone here. You can also think of it as the height. The height of the triangle becomes the height of the cone. Or another student said the hypotenuse of the triangle becomes the slant height of a three-dimensional object. Question number 10. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a cylinder that has a height of 15 centimeters and a diameter of 12? Leave your answer in terms of pi. For question 10, if you have the formula, volume equals base times height, I give you 2 points. Notice they give you the diameter, but you're looking for the radius. The reason why you need the radius is because the b represents the area of the base, pi r squared. So I'm going to take 6, and you square it, you get 12. Not 12, 36. And the height is 15, so 36 times 15 gives me 540 pi. If you multiplied by pi, I gave you 3 points because this says leave your answer in terms of pi. Question number 11, what is the volume of a sphere whose diameter is 6 inches? Leave your answer in terms of pi. So volume of a sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. Here it says d is equal to 6. There is no d in the formula, so you need an r. Half of the diameter is the radius. 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3. I have a 3 in the denominator, which means you can cancel the 3's. And if you multiply the numerator, you'll get 36 pi. Again, I took off a point if you multiplied by pi. Question number 12. What is the volume given the slant height of 13 units? So here, the 13 represents the slanted, not going on the side or the face of the pyramid, not going through the center. Round your answer to the nearest tenths. So here, this is your slant height. That actually becomes the hypotenuse of a right triangle going from here to about the center there. It's a little bit hard if I can't rotate this three-dimensional object. You need to figure out the height, and your base here is not 10, it's 5. The reason why it's 5 is because the right triangle you're taking is just this part here. You can use the Pythagorean Theorem. You already have the c value. You just need to find the a, which is our height. That's 5 squared, just 25. 13 squared is 169. Subtract. Take the square root of both sides. Height is equal to 12. If you found the height, I gave you 2 points. You're going to take the height equals 12 and put it into your formula. Volume equals base times height over 3. Remember, the b there represents the area of the base. In this case, it's a square. So 10 squared, it gives you 100. So 100 times 12 divided by 3 gives you 400 units cubed. And the last question, which was an extra credit question. Find the volume of the prism. Round to the nearest tenth. Volume equals base times height. The base in this case is this triangle. You know it's a triangle because you have two congruent ones. They're parallel, and basically the height is their translation. To find the base or the area of this base, I redrew the triangle. Base times height divided by 2 gives me approximately 1.8. 1.8 times the height, which is right here, 1.2, and you'll get approximately 2.16 meters cubed.